Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the next match? Woo! Do 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 do. Because I'm not, but I almost am. Hee. Oh, they're on opposite sides. Those buttstards. There we go. Yippee! All right. Wait, is that still muted? What the deuce? There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We have ourselves a match. I'm gonna start having people choose the songs we listen to. Bloomington Bidoofs, piloted by AJ, versus the Hartford City Flair Blitzers, piloted by Ted. Holy cow, these are too big. They're way too big. Alrighty, let's get into it, shall we? So, AJ rocking that Mega Metacham, not like Nick's regular Metacham from last match. We got the Rotom Heat, and surprisingly, the Scolipede, which I believe is Mega Scolipede. And then, actually, let me just double check to make sure that is correct. Bloomington Bidoofs. Nope, it's just base form Scolipede. I am incorrect. So good to know, good to know. And then we have the Gyarados, also just regular Gyarados. Garchomp, regular Garchomp. And Steelix, regular Steelix. So Mega Metacham, the only Mega here today. On the side of the Flair Blitzers, oh my gosh, would you be surprised to see it's mostly Fire type? Actually, I lied. There's only 3 Fire types. We got the Arcanine, the Mega Charizard, which is probably going to be the big piece for Ted throughout the season, Charizard Y. But we do see Cast Form making an appearance in a team select at least. We're going to lead with Greninja and Arcanine versus Pants and Izzy, aka Mega Metacham and Rotom Heat. That Intimidate comes out to start. Not too bad into that Metacham. A lot of interesting mind games turn 1 here. As we can obviously go for a Trick Room if it is on the Metacham, but they can also play a very fast mode here. There's a chance for a pure power skill swap into a Volt switch from Rotom if it's Scarf. But on the side of Ted, we have a Greninja lead, so we're going to see the Mega Evolution. I'm wondering what item that Greninja has here. I'm wondering if we just see a Fake Out or if we're going to see something else from Metacham. Let's find out. Fake Out does come out onto that Greninja, which means a Volt Switch is probably going to be... Oh, Electro Web for the speed control. Is it going to be enough? Greninja holds on. Lowering the speeds for sure. We do see just the Flare Blitzers popping the Flare Blitz. Off rip, it's going to be a KO. Mega is down. And just like that, Arcanine, true to form for its logo with the team mascot, gets the first KO of the match. Obviously, we do see the flinch on Greninja. We do have the speed control in favor of that Bidoof player, AJ. I will say, unless the Mons are trained in a different way, it's looking like a Scarf is the item of choice for Rotom Heat. Now we're bringing in this here Garchomp. It is just normal Garchomp, but could have a plethora of items. Obviously, Life Orb was added recently into the game with the M-B. So we're going to see a Greninja switch here into the Bastiodon. Going to see how he takes that. And Extreme Speed is the choice, getting about 30% down into the Rotom. As E-Web comes out yet again. Faster than the Garchomp, so definitely going to be Scarf. And this could be an easy Earthquake here. Bringing in the Bastion might not have been the play here, as that is going to go down for sure. Obviously, kind of the issue with drafting a mostly fire monotype team. Ground moves definitely hurt. Might have want to seen maybe a sack there, but who's to say? Now we're wondering, is this Greninja going to be able to outpace that Rotom? Because Rotom is definitely the biggest issue at the moment with the spamming Electro Webs and the double super effective here. You assume the Garchomp should have either Rock Tomb or Rock Slide. It's going to be pretty rough for Ted here. Wonder what he's going to choose to do. He does Mega Evolve, so the chance of a water move just got a lot less of an option. Let's see who moves first here. It's going to be the Protect from Charizard, so it does Mega Evolve and then Protect. We do see the Greninja come out with that Choice Scarf, Protean Ice Beam. Okay, so switching to an Ice type and also knocking out that Garchomp, giving one less threat. That's a big threat to bring down. However, still looking at E-Webs here, as that is going to... Oh, Greninja holds on. However, is it going to survive another E-Webs? I don't think so. And unfortunately for Ted, the last mon is this pretty bulky Gyarados. It is the Sun. However, based on the speed interactions, obviously that is a Choice Scarf Greninja itself. So E-Webs locked in, rest of the game. Ice Beam locked in. If it can dodge an E-Webs, it's still not even going to put on a lot of pressure here. The Sun's up, it can't even get a freeze. So it's up to this Charizard Y to really put in work here. As E-Webs comes out, double connects. How much damage are you doing to Charizard? About 29%. Greninja falls. Are we faster or slower than this Gyarados? We are slower, so now we have to deal with a Waterfall in the Sun. That does a lot of damage in the Sun. And the flinch from the Waterfall. Doesn't even get the chance to have a move. Unfortunate for Ted. However, it was looking pretty rough for him. I think the Bastion switch, something he's going to want to reconsider going forward. But that's going to be a rather quick game, as both just coming out swinging have their game plans. I think the Electro Webs and Scarf Rotom really putting in work there for AJ. As we will get ready for game number 2. Wondering if we'll see a Cast Form appearance today. It is in the matchup. Kind of hard against a Garchomp with probably a Rock move. We didn't see one. But that makes bringing Volcarona pretty tough. I think I would have liked to see a attack go off from Ted on the turn he brought in Greninja the second time. I think having that surprise Protean Ice Beam KO outspeeding the Rotom made him relatively safe to just get a swing in on the Rotom so he couldn't get another E-Webs off. I think that might have been an option. But how are we going to deal with this Earthquake spam? This time around, we're going to lead the Bastiodon. That is the plan. And it's the same game plan for AJ. Now we're wondering, what are they going to lock into with that Choice Scarf Rotom? And is that Medicham going to go for another Fake Out, or is he going to rip an attack right off the top of the hour? I don't know what I'm saying. I looked over at something else. I got confused. Guys, give me a break. Give me a break. That is what Bastion is asking, looking down a potential fire move and fighting move. Here comes the first Mega Evolution yet again on that Medicham. Shiny Medicham looking pretty dope. Are we going to see a Fake Out again? We do. into the Arcanine this time. And Volt Switch going to come out and break that sturdy. Taking it like a champ. Beautiful stuff from the Bastion Mafia. And here comes that Garchomp. Arcanine flinches. We do see a heavy slam as the choice going into the switch Garchomp. Not going to do a whole lot of damage. As that is not a very strong physical Pokemon, or the weight distribution is not that different. Interesting choice from Ted there. As we now get into a very awkward turn 2. I think it's obvious to AJ that Wide Guard is an option here for a potential Earthquake. The question is, does he still rip it, calling Ted to not Wide Guard and just do like a Stomping Tantrum? Or does he even have Stomping Tantrum? We're going to have to find out. That could be a Protect and Close Combat into that ×4 Bastiodon. That could be pretty devastating. As we do just see a switch, actually. That makes me think he might be ripping the Earthquake as he does go for that switch to a Levitate. Here comes the Wide Guard, comes out. Did he call the Earthquake? That he did. All right, so he calls the Earthquake correctly. And this is going to be a free turn for the Arcanine here. Is he going to Flare Blitz into that Levitated Mon, or is he going to do something else? He does Flare Blitz again into that Mon. And AJ, while not getting anything offensively that turn, has been getting the correct calls when it comes to these switches and the targeting by Ted. Somebody please ban Tommy Pickles 317 from the chat. I repeat, please ban Tommy Pickles 317 from the chat. Ban. Alright, so if you're Ted, are you thinking of a switch this turn? Are you wondering, does he have Stomping Tantrum? There's a lot of interesting options here. And Overheat does a ton of damage to this Bastiodon. Do you have a Wisp on the Arcanine? I'm wondering what other moves he has. Is he just going to throw an E-Speed out onto the Rotom like he did before? We're going to find out here. He does go for the Wide Guard again, so calling for no Stomping Tantrum. Let's see if he gets it right. Extreme Speed comes out, like I said last time. Brought down to 34 as a Volt Switch comes out. I don't know if that was at 69 or 61%. Didn't pay close enough attention. What move do we have here? Is it a Stomping Tantrum? That would spell disaster for Ted. We're waiting quite a long time for this switch on the side of AJ. Not sure what he wants to bring in here. Does go into Pants, which means he's going to just rip a Dragon Claw. So no Stomping Tantrum, but the Arcanine does go down. And now neither Mon is intimidated. But your Intimidate piece is gone. Leftovers healing back up. Almost back to full with the Bastiodon. Here comes the Charizard. Not a bad piece to come out here. Now the question is, are the trainers aware of the interactions with Wide Guard, Speed Priority, Fake Out, Speed Priority? Ted is a new player to the scene, hasn't played VGC since Black and White. So wondering if he is up to date on all of the priority changes in speed interactions, because if he goes for a Wide Guard to protect Rock Slide and the Fake Out comes out onto that Bastiodon, it could spell disaster. Let's find out. So the Mega Evolution comes out for Charizard. Why? The sun is set. Protect comes out for Charizard. Okay. What is the option for this? Oh, just a Dragon Claw. Calling the Protect. Dragon Claw into the not very effective Bastiodon. Life Orb. Gonna chip more than the Dragon Claw does, but does a Close Combat come out? Thunder Punch is revealed on the Medicham. An interesting turn. And a Roar is coming out here. What a tech move by Ted here as he brings in the Gyarados. Dragged out. And now that scary Garchomp is not on the field. And all we have here is a Thunder Punching Mega Medicham. A nice tech move for that Charizard, but the Protect really protecting that piece. What a surprise. Still having the 4th Mon not revealed yet for Ted as well. I actually like his position quite a bit here. Let's see what we go for. Oh, the Thunder Punch. He's actually faster than the Charizard, though. Oh, my goodness. Was not expecting that speed interaction there. And Charizard just goes down. And a Dragon Dance. Oh, no. However, we know we have Roar available. But we're just going to go for the Heavy Slam onto that Medicham. But that is a Steel-type move on a very low attack invested Mon. Not going to do a whole lot. And just like that, Charizard Y not actually contributing at all in either of these 2 games. The Lizard goes down. And now we know that there's a Choice Scarf Mon on the field. He can't use a water move. What is he going to lock into? As we know, it's Protean. And let's see what Mega Medicham actually gets to in speed here, because I did not think it was that high. But I am completely wrong. It is base 100. So actually the exact same speed stat as Charizard. I wonder if that was a speed tie. We'll have to ask the trainers later. As Ice Beam does come out, will it be enough after the Heavy Slam chip? Stab Ice Beam into Mega Medicham. Hangs on by 9%. And the Waterfall coming out. Doing over half at that +1. And a close combat into the Ice type. That is going to be lights out for the Greninja. Just barely wasn't enough damage to take down the Mega Medicham. Would have been really nice if that would have fully connected there. Oh, a Hard Press comes out. Not what you want to see, as Hard Press is based on the opponent's max HP remaining. So that is doing negative. A Heavy Press would have been, or a Heavy Slam rather, would have been the correct play. And now with Close Combat available yet again with a Waterfall, I think that is going to do it for this match. As the Waterfall comes out, Bastion may hang on, but it's not going to survive this final move. As Close Combat comes out, Mega Medicham gets another KO, and the Bloomington Bidoofs take out the Hartford City Flare Blitzers 2-0. Some interesting text, some surprising speed stats throughout that match. But AJ is able to come out on top. We'll go ahead and take it over to a winner's interview. And we'll go ahead and do that right after we set up here. Give just a moment.
Hello, Mr. Craig. I can't hear you. It may be on my end, though. Okay. I had to change whatever audio thing my Discord was going through on my headset. But what's up, bud? Thank you. Pretty good, pretty good. I think all the text came down to it. I was honestly having so much fun seeing the moves that that Ted had on his Pokemon. Like I was streaming it myself, and when I saw the hard press come out, I was like, oh my god, that's an awesome move to be using. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I think it technically, in some senses, comes down to a speed tie if his Charizard Y is timid, because my Mega Medicham was jolly.
Yes.
But I think that there's gas in the tank, potentially, even if that doesn't go my way. So.
Yes, I myself was surprised to see Mega Metacham is base 100, so it could have been a speed tie. We'll surely find out in Discord later on, but like you said, you were jolly. We saw the Thunder Punch and the Protect, and I thought, it's a good tech, but I think Charizard will clean its clock before it gets to swing, but of course, you were able to outspeed and take it out. A lot of interesting moves on that Bastiodon. Like Hard Press is a move you don't see very often, and then the Roar tech actually put it in
a cool.
pretty good spot, we thought, for the Charizard to get a swing off, but unfortunately for him, but fortunately for you, the Thunder Punch came out first.
And I think at that point in time too, like I knew I had Dragon Dance on Gyarados, and I figured like if I can get 2 dances up, it never procced, but I had Citrus Berry, and so I felt pretty confident. I'm pretty sure the Bastiodon was -2 at that point. If I could get another Dragon Dance off in front of the Charizard and like maybe stall something out or force some specific turns, like I felt like Gyarados had the potential to clean up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How did it feel preparing for what on paper from draft looked like a mono fire team?
It was scary, honestly, because of Greninja. Because I knew like Greninja obviously gets water moves. It can get ice beam, which it used, and I was very confident that he was going to run Scarf Greninja just because that felt like the most reasonable thing to run. Like the Rotom forms are like often run with Scarf, and it outspeeds and can potentially KO based on investment. And that's why I was like dead set on a Metacham and Rotom lead, because I felt like pretty much into his entire roster, it would at least give me momentum. Because if you have Scarf Greninja, you can't protect. I get to do E-Webs. The only thing that would have been a little bit scary would have been Bastiodon and Greninja lead for something like Wide Guard plus a move. But at the same time, like, I was pretty confident Bastiodon would have Wide Guard as well, which was something also scary because I had a lot of Rock Slides and Earthquakes on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
But I felt pretty confident going into it just because like it is mono fire and I think it's a cool team and it has techs, but I have Garchomp and the Fire Rotom.
yes, you might have one of the better matchups into a mono fire team.
Yeah,
but still had some interesting turns throughout that set to keep it entertaining for us viewers here. How do you feel? I've been asking people this today after week 1. How are you feeling about your draft overall? It was definitely a different type of draft system this time versus last HDA. How do you feel about your team?
So I think that this is my 4th draft league, and this is the 3rd different like kind of draft I've done. Like I've done points in HDA last year, and I did points for like a friendly draft league. Actually, this is my 5th draft. Anyway, I've done points for several. I've done one that I'm currently in that does tiers, but we had to bid on our Mega Evolutions. And so I thought that this was pretty cool because we didn't have to do the whole like bidding war thing. It was just if you pick it, you pick it, which is more akin to things I've done before. I enjoyed the draft. I think it'll be cool to get to use Pokemon like Steelix and Alolan Raichu. I had Steelix in the back. I just never felt like it was going to be good to bring it in this game because I saw the Bastiodon and I kind of a little bit scared off by that.
Sure.
In terms of my team, I feel like it's just fantastic. Like I think my top 3 guys are just like some of the best guys for draft in general. And then I get things like Superior and Scolipede, which are just like fantastic mons depending on the matchup. Mega Metacham, like as I mentioned, just undervalued in terms of the turnaround of the draft league and the new regulation. I think Mega Metacham is one of the ones that kind of like slipped through the cracks because it has a fantastic speed tier. It has pure power. It has so many coverage moves. Alex is trying to kill me. Please don't. And then I mean like Raichu, Alola, and Steelix both do things. They're not the best Pokemon ever, but they Raichu has a lot of tech moves like Encore and things like that. Steelix can run things like Stealth Rocks or Wide Guard. And so I think in terms of my team draft, I'm very happy. And in terms of the drafting experience, it was fun. I mean, it's a big draft to do. It's a lot of people. But overall, it was really fun to I love constructing a team through draft.
No, absolutely. I think it's sort of interesting take on how you usually approach a draft league, because there were just so many people and everyone was stuck with only 8 picks, and you have to kind of decide when and where to go for those bigger, higher tier picks. I think you did a really interesting approach of not really focusing on the Mega early. As you said, Mega Medicham you thought was undervalued, and it looks like it was undervalued in this set, as you were able to surprise not only Ted potentially, but even your caster Craig, as I was not sure what that speed was. I was thinking maybe if you were jollying it was modest, but no, it was just a full-on potential speed tie. And I think that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And also just I think it's undervalued that a Mega with Fake Out can put on a lot of force.
Is E tier? I was so surprised when I saw it.
Absolutely crazy.
Something interesting about Mega Medicham as well is that you don't have to have it's one of those Mega evolutions that doesn't necessarily change its ability. So Mega Medicham has pure power in its base form, but it also has access to telepathy, and so Medicham as a Mega evolution also technically gives me another EQ partner for Garchomp, or discharge partner for Rotom. And so you could get into situations where, I could not Mega Evolve it turn 1, telepathy activates, Mega Evolve it turn 2. Although I think that those are a bit more niche circumstances. But
sure thing, but that's for all those viewers at home, if you're playing AJ in the next 7 weeks,
watch out for telepathy.
Be prepared for the amount of Disquake that you are probably going to encounter, because he has a lot of partners he drafted for that. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, AJ, I'm curious. You are kind of, I believe, one of the higher rated power rankings from Woodruff.
I think I'm 3 or 4.
Yeah. So do you feel any pressure to perform this season? How do you feel about, you said you really like your team. I think you drafted really well. How do you feel about your competition? Are there any teams or captains you're looking forward to playing this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty happy I'm getting to play. We have a lot of new people. I didn't know Ted before this match, and that's really fun to get to meet new people through Pokemon. I have all of the weeks already in my matchup doc because I'm insane. I get to play Matt next week, and I think Matt has a really interesting team that might be difficult for me in terms of Incineroar pivoting is just a pain. I get to play Spitzy, which is triple Mega, and I don't know what he was doing. And I have beef with Spitzy because I really wanted Mega Clefable in that tier slot. Yeah, because I thought it would be a really cool partner as well.
1000%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit scared of Abigail in week 5, just because Mega Floette and Mega Blaziken are kind of a scary pairing with speed boost into baton pass type stuff that could happen. Yeah, it's really fun. I get to play Patchy again in week 6, and we played last season, and we had a really nice fun match. And then I get to play JJ and Joey to close out the regular season. And JJ's a great player. Haven't really gotten to play him too much in locals and stuff, but Joey helped build and test out the Floette Charizard X team with me. So I think that'll be fun to have to deal with Mega Gengar.
Yeah.
Don't look forward to it.
Packed season for you. Tough schedule.
Yeah.
We'll see how it carries out as we continue on. But for now, I think that's going to do it for us. I believe, let me double check, but I think our next match is going to be, actually, EJ and Bagelbox play at 2 p.m. I think we're going to have to get their VODs, though. Not going to be able to stream that one. So it looks like Patchy versus Matty3 Patty at 3 p.m. And then
that'll be a fun one.
Truly versus Spitzy at 7 o'clock.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me neither.
It'll be a fun matchup to see.
It'll be good.
Will you lose to triple Mega?
I will, absolutely. That's going to do it for me. Congrats again to AJ for the 2-0. And if you're watching still, that's crazy. You should be outside touching ass. I mean grass.